right, what's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the Adventure One podcast. So I am sitting here with Kyle. We just got done eating some deer steaks and having some weird French fried, healthy veggie fries.
Deer steaks were delicious. The healthy French fries were also good.
Pretty good,
but yeah, a little different.
I'd give it a 8 on flavor and a 5 on texture.
Yes, totally agree with that.
And then this morning, we actually got Kyle's bow all dialed in. We went out and shot, and I think it was very productive and a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm very satisfied with where I'm at after one full day.
So we're just hanging out, and then it is time. We're actually doing it about the right time this year to talk about our annual hunting goals, just to kind of recap last year, talk about what worked, what didn't work, what we got done. You know, what was a cool goal? What was a stupid goal? Just little stories of accomplishing or failing on all of those. And then kind of setting goals for this next year.
Yeah, last year we were, about a month late?
Yeah. I realized as we were going through it, we were both like, what's our goal for doves? Shoot a limit of doves?
Well, we did that.
Already done. And I think I had already killed a deer in archery season.
Oh, yeah. So I guess that was October something.
Yeah, so we were real late.
Gotcha, yeah.
So it's end of August right now. And dove season kicks off the first hunting season in Texas. So I think we're actually right on time.
Yep.
So I guess we'll just go through last year's stuff and kind of just go in the order we talked about it. That works for you?
Oh, yeah. Sounds good.
So last year, one of my goals, kill a limit of doves. So got that done.
Check.
So it was fun. We went out there, hunted. Got a limit that night, and I think we limited the next morning.
Limited the next morning.
Or we were just shy of it, maybe. I don't know.
I
think we limited the next morning.
Yeah, I think we got our limit.
Yeah. And then my next goal was harvest 3 or more hogs. And so I had already killed 2. And so I was like, kill multiple hogs or something. And you're like,
give it a number.
Define that. Put a number on it. So you basically said, okay, you've already killed some, but don't just say you're done. Kill at least one more. So looking back on it, I killed 1 with a 70, 1 with a 65. I killed 6 pigs last year.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely killed multiple hogs.
Yeah.
Over 3.
Got that done. And they were pretty much all of them were near. They weren't all like over a feeder. More than half of them were.
Yeah.
But
I will still say, if you have not seen the hog noggin video, go back and watch that right now. If you're like, ooh, you shot hogs? Let me see. Go watch that video.
I feel like that's probably the genre I have the most hunting footage over. It's just like shooting pigs.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're in Texas.
Yeah.
And what's the most opportunity 365 days out of the year?
Yeah.
Hogs.
Yep. And I remember, like, some of them were just, opportunities. Like, one of them, I was literally up on my feeder, up on the ladder, filling it up, dumping corn in there. I'm like, wait, what's that little black thing running? Oh, that's a pig. Yeah. And I had my target rifle that I had just been shooting like 800 yards. I'm like, okay, dial it back to 100. I'm still on 16X. Send it. Ooh, headshot. That one, I'm like, well, it wasn't fair, but it was a pig, and I got it.
Yep. Exactly.
So my next
one pig that wasn't eating the corn out of the feeder.
Right, and not tearing crap up.
Exactly.
So my next goal was kill 3 does. So I did complete that as well. So I got 2 with a bow and 1 with the 270. So check, got that one done. Next one was kill 2 deer with a bow. And so this one, actually, I kind of hybridized this with my previous goal. So those 2 does, 2 of the 3 were with a bow. So I kind of, with those 2 kills, I took out multiple goals as well. So complete. And that's where looking into doing this stuff moving forward, I don't know if I should specify. I kind of like the idea of strategically being able to like accomplish multiple goals with the same kill, or be like, I had to do this, but I could do it in another. I kind of like that flexibility.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's kind of cheating a little bit because it gives me more options, but I like it.
Yeah. I like any options that, like, in the end you have meat in your freezer. So I'm all right with it.
Always good.
Yes.
And And then we talked about that. So, and you had pressured me a little bit. And you're like, okay, yeah, I killed deer with a bow. And I already killed one at that point. And so you're like, but what if you kill one not on a feeder?
Mm-hmm.
And so looking back at last year, so I did kill deer not on a feeder.
Yes.
There was hand-thrown corn.
There was bait out there.
But it wasn't with a bow. So I did not accomplish it.
Yes.
Because we had specifically talked about kill a deer with a bow, not on a feeder.
Yes.
So I did all those things, but not together.
Yep.
So that's a miss.
Yep.
Did it with a rifle.
Yeah. Still a good goal, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just wondering if it was something that you're just like, that was dumb. Why did I even say that?
No, I think it was good. I think some of it just kind of turned into like the places and where I'm hunting and stuff.
Definitely.
And it's like, you know, by late season, they're coming into food. I didn't want to go kicking around, try to do something else. So I appreciate the sentiment of the goal. Like whether it was, I think it just wasn't practical anytime I went out and sat. And that's probably why I didn't get it done. Yeah. But yeah. So my next one was kill a mature buck. And so we defined that as just something that wasn't a yearling buck and that was wider than the ears. So I did kill one buck that was wider than the ears just barely, and it was pretty little.
Yes.
But then I killed another one, and this was actually, I sad to admit, and I did a whole episode about it, but it was the first deer ever that I have not recovered the meat on.
Yeah.
And so I don't like that that's how I accomplished this goal, but technically I did accomplish it. So
it was mature.
Yeah.
You did your due diligence looking for it. It wasn't a lack of effort. So,
and ultimately, like thinking back, and again, I did that whole episode, but it's just like, if you have the time to grunt or stop them or wait, do it. Don't try to take a shot on the run just because you think you can. I got cocky and
live and learn.
Yeah.
Yep.
My next one was a fun goal. Kill a hog with just a handgun. Ka-ching. Did it.
Yep.
Did it.
Which that was one where like you had sat with a handgun intentionally waiting for hogs on a feeder, and it didn't happen.
Multiple times.
Yes.
I sat in a bow blind with a 44 Magnum.
Yes.
Waiting for hogs.
More than
once. They never showed up.
Yes.
And then I was out I think I was like fixing a fence, or I was like working on the lease, and then I saw pigs.
Yeah.
And I remember I still had my, phone scope mount on my GoPro. So the whole time there's this like annoying black ring around the footage. Yeah. But I'm like, wait, there's a pig. And so I like ran down there.
Yeah.
And then just like crouched in this little bush, and he walked out and got him.
Knocked him down. That's awesome.
So got that one done. My next goal was kill 3 coyotes. Definitely did not get that one done.
Check. No.
I killed 1 coyote last year.
Yeah.
I had to think back on it. I was like, did I even kill one? And it was when I went to El Paso with those guys.
Oh, yeah.
But that was the only shot I took on a coyote. I don't think I saw as many coyotes this year. But we definitely still need to kill more. And actually, when we went out to just do lease work, Daniel got one, took off running, and he blasted it with the AR. So
we've knocked a couple down out at that place that we hunt.
Yeah. Oh, and I just got one on camera, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I took a guy out, and he shot a coyote last year, too, during deer season. So we got 2 off that property so far.
Yeah. Only like 500. A dozen more to go. So many coyotes in Central Texas. Well, my next one was scooting on over to turkey season, kill a mature tom. Wah, wah. Fail. I called it lots of mature toms, and I had them gobble back. And I saw one. I got him on camera.
Yep.
At about 80, 90 yards.
Not in range.
Might have been the one that you killed.
Probably was.
But so I failed on that goal. My next goal was kill a turkey with a bow.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I never got the mature tom, I never moved on to phase 2 of that
plan.
plan.
It's like I didn't even get past. Yeah, exactly. And we talked about that with phases last year. Where it was like, all right, once I get that mature tom, I'm just going to sit with a bow and see what I can get. Just get the next legal turkey. Yeah. You know, just to knock one down, get some meat.
And in trying to get the next legal turkey, I was so worried that I wasn't going to get something.
Exactly.
So that's
nothing at all.
That's when I shot that Jake.
Yeah.
Either and even
Jake
then,
or nothing
that was,
at that point.
Probably 11 a.m. or something. Like it was getting kind of late in the day, and they weren't responsive at all. I just kind of crept up on him and bushwhacked him and got it. Yep. So in a way, it's like, I got a turkey when I thought I wasn't going to get one. But did I actually accomplish any goals by killing that turkey? No, I didn't. No.
I mean, the only unwritten goal was the fact that you got to eat turkey meat, which was delicious.
That's pretty good in my book.
Which also I will always say is not, there's no loss there.
Yeah.
But it just didn't check a box.
I love wild turkey, and I make a mean turkey soup.
Yeah.
I think you do too, but we do kind of the same thing. Eat
my
breast meat.
my turkey soup's okay. How I cook the breast meat, man, it will knock your socks off.
Asian chicken nuggets.
Asian orange chicken with wild turkey breast meat, and it is rocks.
Yeah.
It just delicious.
You've told me about that like so many times. I'm like, damn, I need to try that.
Yep, you got to do it for sure.
So that was everything that we covered that was in my listed goals. And then I just kind of wanted to throw in some other random accomplishments that weren't actually like goals, but like small hunting successes. So I got a fox last year.
Yeah.
And I was pretty proud of that one because he was about 100 yards and I got him in the neck with a 22.
Wow.
And I was literally driving my truck and I was like, wait, there's a fox.
Yeah, I forgot that you did that. That was a
22
while
out of
ago, wasn't it?
that was like bow season last year, but I had a 22 that was sighted in at 50. And so I held like right on the top of his head and got him in the neck.
Dang,
so I was like,
that's
dang,
awesome.
That worked. So
that's cool.
I was excited about that one.
Yep.
I got 3 skunks last year.
The year of the skunk.
I don't think I went hunting without seeing a skunk last year. Like every time, like I don't know.
That's awesome.
Like I never got sprayed or anything. I did shoot one with the 270 and it went off.
Well, I have a little story about that too.
Yeah,
Something I shot with a 270.
Yeah. So I got 3 skunks. I got 3 raccoons.
Yep, there we go. Did you shoot any of those with your 270?
No, I think those were all with an AR. No, one was with a shotgun.
Okay.
With buckshot. And so that dude didn't go far.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like number 4 buck or something.
Yep.
And then the other 2 were with an AR. And then I got that fallow buck. So that's most recent. It still counts in this year's goal. Well, it wasn't one of my goals, actually. It wasn't on there, but kind of still counts in
it's this hunting
this year's accomplishments.
If you don't know, the rollover for us is September 1st.
Yep.
So hunting year ends at the end of August, starts at the beginning of September. So that's why we are doing this right now.
Yep. And then I've got some things kind of jotted down that are like potential ideas for goals this year, but let's skip over that and let's talk about what you accomplished last year.
Well, if you don't know, my memory is horrible.
Yeah.
So you're gonna throw them out there to me, and I'll comment on them.
That's why I got them written down, dude. Okay, so harvest something with a crossbow, and this is the goal I had to talk you into. I know. I just like it. It didn't really click with me. Where the crossbow was a tool to extend whitetail season for me. Like that was it. Cut and dry, nothing else. So that's why Pliny had to be like, oh, like you haven't shot anything with it yet. You probably should. And I'm like, yeah, I know I want to, but and also when we talked about this, we were, we were halfway through bow season.
And I even said, I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to take it back out. And you're like, what if you go and shoot at a hog or this or that? And I was like, but a gun will shoot it.
Let's go skunk hunting.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that one I have failed. And on that note, so has the crossbow.
Yep.
The crossbow has failed. As I was cocking it to, make sure it's all sighted and everything for this year's archery season, one of the limbs cracked. And so took that into the shop to see what they could do with it. But I am moving on.
Yep.
Happily moving on from that. So.
Well, your next goal was kill 2 does.
I did do that, but we have to talk about species.
We have to. I feel like we got to. Let's circle back to that one.
Define species, right?
Yeah, let's circle back.
I don't remember if I said whitetail does, which I'm guessing I didn't. But we were
probably
talking about whitetails when I said it.
Yeah, so I think that's you win on a technicality.
So I will say I shot 1 whitetail doe.
Yes.
So I'll stop that one there.
Yeah.
I did shoot another doe, so I shot 2 does. We'll talk about the rest in a minute.
So your next goal was kill a legal rack buck. And we spent a lot of time trying to define this one.
Yes.
Because we were like, is it outside the ears? Because that's what I said for mine. You're like, dude, I don't know what's on the property there, so I don't want to be constrained by that.
Yeah.
I just want to kill a legal buck this year.
Yes.
And not a spike. You specified not a spike because the spike is legal.
Yes. Yep. And so that I definitely did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shot a big old 10 point for
Awesome
my
deer.
first buck.
Awesome deer.
And then my second buck was another, it was outside the ears. And this is in a county where it doesn't have to be, but it was anyways. So, I mean, it wasn't, it was probably a 3.5-year-old buck. I mean, it wasn't no giant or anything, but the 10 point definitely checked that off the list. No doubt about it.
And I think that second one was kind of a bonus buck on that property because I think that was just because it was late November.
Yeah, he was
chasing running that doe for sure.
He's chasing a doe into the property, and I was near the edge of the property, so taking him out. And I've said before about that property, like I just haven't seen many large, even if they're a little bit older. I just haven't seen any like very large bucks. So I think he was probably the same age as the 10 point I had.
Yeah,
they're just different genetics and different diet. So
could be. So that's your first 2-buck year.
Yes. Yep.
First
3 whitetail year also.
Oh, really?
I don't think I've ever shot 3 whitetails in a single season.
I was thinking back to when you shot 2 in Michigan.
Oh, I did come back and shoot one in Texas.
Yeah,
you're right.
I think so.
Yeah, you're right. I shot 3 that year. I shot another doe in Texas when we got back. So, okay. So I technically shot 2 bucks in Michigan, but not rack bucks.
You got a legal doe that was a male deer.
Antlerless is the
yeah.
He was too young to have antlers.
You played it just right. Getting under that was a 2-inch, 3-inch limit.
A 3-inch limit, and he had some nubs sticking out through the skin. So which is different than Texas. So
yeah, Texas, it's anything that breaks the skin.
If it's an antler, you can't. It's a buck.
Yep. So. Or it's buck or antlerless. There is no such thing as a legal doe in Texas.
Yes.
It's buck or antlerless. Yeah. So your next goal was a different one from anything you had ever done before, and it was kill an axis, doe or buck, with a rifle, and then you specified high fence or low fence, doesn't matter. You just wanted to get one.
Which I ended up just having a random opportunity, and somebody invited me to go to a low fence ranch in South Texas, and the landowner was having some issues with the axis eating the grasses on his property.
Because they were trying to manage for whitetail, right? And they didn't really care about the axis?
No, it was more cattle. They were worried about cattle. They could care less about hunting.
Wow.
They were managing for cattle, and they were just like, because they have a herd, because axis are more of a herd animal.
Right.
They had a herd of 50 or 60 axis that would be coming through their property pretty consistently, and they would just mow down any new grasses. And so their cattle, it was just taking away.
They eat grass a lot more than whitetail do.
Yeah.
Whitetail will dig around and
but
find
they
clover and
mostly.
buds and stuff. But I think axis will just eat straight up the grass that the cows would eat.
So, and early spring, I think everything nibbles on fresh grass.
That's true.
Everything gets fresh grass. It's later when it's like, deer don't come in and eat grass in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen. But early spring, anything that's a herbivore or omnivore is going to be eating fresh shoots come out of the ground.
Yeah.
So
heck, even bears and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I would too. I was hungry enough. So sounds delicious. So I ended up on this low fence ranch, and I shot a buck and a doe axis. So that's my other doe. And we also have another podcast episode about that. So if you want to hear about that hunt, that was pretty awesome.
I think
that was all low fence, which was really cool.
It was you and Mario, and I think we called it like South Texas Axis Success or something like that.
Axis Success. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was awesome. Which is like, I was just trying to be opportunistic of like, if I can just find a cheap doe hunt at a high fence, I just want some meat. I want to try the meat. I want to see the deer, and it ended up being low fence, like no guides, nothing, just like, hey guys, here's a couple 100 acres. Here's a couple spots that we've set. Like there's old stands set up. Go use them.
And I think that's how we both prefer it. Where it's like it's not totally breaking new ground. Like there's a little bit of knowledge about the place and what's there, but still you're doing it all on your own.
Yes,
and
yes.
it's not.
I don't want anybody to
in any way
babysit me at all.
Yeah.
And if I can avoid, this is hard to do in Texas, especially South Texas, but if you can avoid the feeder, that's even more exciting to me.
Yeah.
So and they didn't have any feeders there, so it was nice.
Man, that's awesome. So after killing both a buck and a doe, are you hooked? Like, is axis something you're gonna like want to do frequently now, or is it just like this rare when it happens?
Yes.
Cool?
So I'm more of the opportunistic side of that one, where I'm not like I need to go shoot another axis. I'm more like, so now I know if there's any other like adventurous hunt that somebody's like, hey, I have this opportunity, you want to go? It's gonna be like, yes. Like that's my mentality of like being opportunistic rather than like a certain deer or species or anything like that. Like, I don't care. I mean, access is awesome, but it doesn't need to be that. If somebody's like, hey, let's go, like if you're like, hey, there's a fallow here and, we can go hunt it. I'd be like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
So, but I'm always opportunistic, especially when somebody's like, and it's free.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of the places where it's guaranteed or a really nice deer or whatever, like you can almost directly correlate that with how canned it feels. Mm-hmm. And I think we don't really appreciate that. We spend a lot of time in like Coleman tents and old hunting clothes. And so it's just like,
building our own stands and, building up the spot that we want to hunt and scouting it out ourselves. It's like, it takes away from the actual hunt.
Yeah, and not to knock like nice hunting lodges and stuff, but it's just like, that's not why we do it.
Yes, somebody has done most of the hunting.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm fine, and I've said this before with, if you're going to set up a feeder and you're going to set up a stand and you're going to do all that stuff, and then you go out there and you harvest an animal, like that's awesome because you did the work to hunt that animal. That's part of the process. Yeah. But when somebody else set up a feeder, somebody else set up the stand, somebody else is watching for the deer and telling you what deer is going to be there, they did 90% of it.
You're just
or more
finishing already. It off and signing a check.
Yes. Especially if I walked out there with my 270 and I'm like, and this rifle's doing 90% of the rest of it for that. Yeah. So I'm like, a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of this is me.
Oh, you don't want to shoot a sheep off a feeder in a high fence?
No, thank you.
What if we give you a 300 Win Mag today?
No, thank you.
Dang it. You're not a real Texan.
Maybe if you gave me like a spear or something, I might try it.
Kyle's into spearing sheep these days. It's kind of weird, but it's his thing. So your next goal was an interesting one. I mean, it's kind of a hunting goal, kind of not, but it was take all your trimmings to be made into good sausage.
Check.
And I think this was
we did.
You did all your own grind, but you never actually got it made into like good sausage. So you wanted to go to a nice place and get it.
Yep.
So how did it turn out?
And two sides of that, the sausage is amazing. So we had some shoulders of the axis that we took in, and man, it's like there's no need to buy any sausage all meat. I think we ended up with 100 pounds of it or something like that.
Golly.
So. And we split it between me and Mario, so it was like 50-50 there. So,
and that was the shoulders from all three deer?
Shoulders from two, and then hindquarters from one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So two shoulders, four shoulders, and two hindquarters.
Yeah, and it all gets cut with pork fat as
6
well.
quarters.
So it ends up being more yield than the total meat you brought
so
in.
it was like 50, 60 pounds of meat deboned. And then
turns into 100 pounds of
sausage because they do about 40% pork in those, which is why it's delicious.
Yeah, it's
like it's not the grainy. The taste would be fine with just venison sausage. It's the texture that throws me off.
Well, that's what. So this fallow buck I got. So I got almost all the trimmings that I did made into those hunter sticks because those are the only things that are 100% venison.
Yeah,
and Obviously, I've killed a lot of pigs, and I was missing that because I'm like,
can't get those.
Spicy breakfast sausage is just great with pork, but you can't get those hunter sticks.
Yeah,
so
that's my next thing. I really want to get those hunter sticks for this year when I get a deer.
Yeah, they're good. Well, I think that's kind of cool that you had a A sausage goal.
I am a meat hunter, so it is not weird that I had a meat goal.
Kyle, what are you hunting? Sausages.
Yes. See that sausage out in the field? I'm going to shoot it.
So your next goal was kill at least one coyote, preferably on an actual coyote hunt.
Fail.
You shot at one.
I did?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
I remember we were out there. It was the Central Texas place, and there was that dead cow in the field.
Oh, yeah,
and a coyote ran.
Yeah.
I think was running away from the carcass or something. And you were just like standing there, like straight up. I mean, it's hard to shoot a rifle just like standing up.
So were we intentionally coyote hunting then?
Well,
we didn't have a
It wasn't
call.
deer season.
Well, I know it wasn't a call, but I think we were out looking for coyotes, weren't we?
I think so.
So I did, yeah.
It wasn't deer season when you were out walking around with a 22-250, so I don't know what else you were doing.
Yes, exactly. And we knew that carcass was out there the day before, so when I was checking that on purpose. So yeah, I guess I did intentionally hunt coyotes, just not to the full extent.
Yeah.
It's like with all the equipment we have access to, we did not use like calls or things like that. We were just being like opportunistic, walking around, and I think we were just kind of like scouting out the property.
We may have been scouting for turkey, or that may have been the first time we set up the feeder. Or something.
we were setting some things up. We were putting cameras out and feeder checks and things like that. And we're just like, well, let's grab a rifle and take a hike and look to see if we see hogs or coyotes. I think it was like either we were just like, if we see something that's a non-game animal, we can shoot. We'll shoot it. So yeah, I did shoot at a coyote, but yeah, it was jogging at a probably good 75, 100 yards, and
they're always faster than you think they are.
Oh
too,
yeah,
in terms
and
of lead.
And so I took a shot at it, and didn't hit it. So. Forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
You at least took a poke at that goal. Like I have other goals that I'm just like my turkey goal. I'm like, I didn't
even shoot it.
I didn't shoot at a gobbler.
Yeah.
Saw one.
Yeah.
So you at least made a.
But I'd like to
more than fair attempt.
I've never hunted with a call, like a coyote call.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it is the time of year too.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think we were a little later than when that's effective. I think when it's like basically like
February.
when we tend to deer hunt out there in that late season, I think that's actually when it's probably best.
Well,
when it's,
never mind. I want to shoot a deer.
Well, I think if we deer hunt earlier, I think we just have pushed everything
5
back.
whitetail tags.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, but I think it's when it's cold and when they're like, I think that's because you're making the sound usually of a panicked jackrabbit, and I think that's when they're just. It's cold. It's a rough winter. That's when they're just especially responsive to prey sound.
Gotcha.
So that's when I've seen that work the best.
Okay.
It's like when it's cold.
When they're really hungry.
And when it's not super windy. I think sometimes when it's really windy, either they don't come in because they don't feel comfortable, or
just don't hear
they've winded me so
they
long
run
before
around.
that I never even saw them. But we do need to get out and do that, though. Set up the Fox Pro and one guy with a rifle, one guy with a shotgun, and just see what happens.
Yep.
So your next goal was moving on to turkey season, was kill a mature tom.
And I took a shot at a mature tom, the first turkey that I shot at, and I missed it. I don't know if you knew that, but I missed a mature tom, the first one that I saw.
Was that the same day that?
Nope. So it was the same day that I shot the two.
The
Jakes, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we were sitting down, me and my buddy were sitting down at the back of this property, and we called in 3 mature toms, and they came strutting down, and I didn't check the distance on them. They're a lot farther than I thought, and I was sitting down lower in the grass than I thought, and it just, I think I just buzzed over his head and clipped a bunch of grass on the way out there, and it just didn't turn out right. And then when I checked the distance afterwards, it was like 70 yards.
Yeah,
so I was like, dang it. Man. It looked like 40, 45.
Well, and sometimes the terrain or tall grass can really throw you off.
And I was, So live and learn on that one for sure. Like check distances before anything happens. Yeah. It's like you're looking like that tree is 80 yards away. So if it's close to that tree, don't shoot, you know? So things like that. So that was one of my live and learn. But then on our way out of that property, we actually got on the highway and looked back at the property, and I was like, "Are those turkeys?" And so we backed up, pulled back in the property, stalked in a little ways, And then we called these jakes over to us, and we just blasted some
and
jakes.
they just went in hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, yeah. They ran right in on us. It was awesome. So those are the only turkeys that I called in this year, actually. Well, yeah, that day was the only day that I called turkeys in. And then we went out to the other property. So I didn't kill my mature tom yet. Went out to another property. And that's when I was out there with my 6-year-old. And we sat and we called the turkeys, and we heard them gobbling all over the place. Nothing came in. So we start hiking. We said again, we were calling. Nothing. They all shut up when they come down on this property generally.
Yeah.
And so then we're just hiking our way out, and I was like, wait a second. Looked across the field. There's turkeys out there.
What do you know?
So what I have really learned from this season about turkey hunting is just always be aware. Like, just look in every open space possible when you're walking around after you think you failed.
Yeah.
Because they're still moving around. Because they're not like deer where it's like bed down and don't move for 4 hours after I eat in the morning.
They're somewhere doing something.
Yes, they're moving around during the day. You
just got to figure out what that is and where.
They roost at night. They sleep all night. Like, that's what turkeys do. So during the day, they're picking around somewhere. But then I saw them, started chasing in on them. My 6-year-old, I told him to stay in one spot where he was watching me. He could see me, so I'm like out of sight. I'm looking, I probably got 30, 40 yards away, and I like start to come up, and they just booked it out of there.
So was that mostly I just like sit here so you watch, and I know you're safe and you're not going to booger this one up?
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Wait right here. You can see me. You're safe. You're not worried about where I am.
Yeah.
And
watch what your daddy can do.
Yes. My biggest mistake was I climbed up in a tree to look for the turkeys, and I ducked under a fence to crawl in on the turkeys. And you wouldn't think that'd be a mistake because the turkeys never saw me doing those two things.
Yeah.
Except when you have an adventurous 6-year-old, he thought that was the most fun thing in the world. So do you know what he did as soon as I got under that fence? He trailed in behind me. He tried to climb up that tree because it looked fun. And then he ducked under that fence because it looked fun. And then when those turkeys ran away from me when I was just about in range, it was because he was like, hey, Dad, I crawled under the fence just like you.
And you're like, I said sit right there.
So
I didn't know that part of it.
Yeah. So he buggered that one up, and you know what? As he like said that, you know what I did? In my heart just like sunk, but I turned around and I was like, that was awesome. Way to go under that fence. And then he goes, can I climb that tree you climbed? And I was like, yeah, let's go climb it. So we walked back and we climbed a tree.
Yeah.
So like if you want your kid to keep hunting with you, you have to swallow every failure that happens because of them and make it positive. Like, dude, it's the only way to keep him out there. Otherwise, you just like, he wouldn't want to go back out there with us if he messed something up and we just blamed him.
Yeah.
You know, like if he was hunting with us together or whatever, and we were like, Caden, come on, man, why'd you do that? It's like, this is not the place for that.
And the fact that even right now, crawling under a fence is fun.
Yes.
Like, there's so much potential for fun.
Yes,
that
exactly.
As grown adult men, we could just squash and ruin.
Yes. And I turned it into like, I did tell him like, hey, you know, like I really wanted you to stay back here. The turkeys ran away, but it wasn't like I'm blaming you for that. It was more just like, hey, you know, like if you would stay back here a little bit longer, when I shoot, like I'll shoot the turkey and then I'll turn around to you and you come run over and go into the fence and do all that stuff. And so a couple hours later, I walk back out and I look back out in this field. And I left him again where he could see me, and he's standing over under this tree in the shade because it was getting hot.
Yeah.
And I saw the turkeys again. So I was like, stay right here, shade, here's some water. Just watch me go in after these turkeys. And I booked it over, and I ran down this fence line, and I knocked down the tom.
Nice. Killed old blonde beard.
Yeah. So it was this weird, like, brindle blonde colored beard on this turkey. It was like, the last 3 inches were blonde, the middle 3 inches were red, and then the first 3 inches were like almost black, like dark brown.
It was a Neapolitan turkey.
Yes, exactly. It was. And you can see, like, it was probably 3 years old. It's like a tree. It's like a tree tree rings. It's like each year it grew a different color.
So I wonder if it was like eating different stuff each year, or just like living somewhere different each year.
Yeah, maybe it like got into some like acid or something the first year, and it dyed the hair color.
Oh, I thought you meant like he was running around high or something.
Yeah, that too.
I was like, I don't think turkeys do that.
I don't know, maybe. Only the cool ones.
But yeah, I had never seen a turkey with a blonde beard like that.
I know.
Was really cool.
It's definitely the coolest beard I have.
Well, and we also concluded that you were most effective hunting turkeys. You see all these shows that are all sponsored by Mossy Oak and a turkey call company, and they're always in thick woods in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, but wherever, calling them in, doing the exact same skit basically every time. Yeah. But you hunted them like Western mule deer.
Yeah. Yep.
You saw them from a long ways away on a field edge, snuck around, and then popped up on them and
stay out of
let
sight.
them have it.
Yep. Stay out of sight. Slide over. Get a beat on its head. Done.
So all that to say, you got your mature tom.
Yes, it did.
And almost tagged out on turkeys, which wasn't one of your goals.
No.
You were one tag short.
I was, yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yes.
I've never killed that many turkeys in a year. So that kind of concludes everything we had in terms of assessing last year's goals. Do we want to get into what we're looking at doing for this year, or anything in between? I don't know that you think of that we need to talk about.
No, let's jump into it. I think as we go, we can kind of walk our way through what this year's going to look like. Hopefully.
Yeah. So I just kind of jotted down some ideas here. So something we talked about last year is I was saying, I see a lot of jackrabbits on my place, and we killed one. Actually, Daniel killed one just because I think you wanted to shoot something.
Yes.
Oh, let's cook it up, and we made like a rabbit schnitzel sort of deal. It was okay.
It's okay.
I mean, actually, it was better than I thought it would be for being like a West Texas jackrabbit. It wasn't the best, but it was better than I thought. But we talked about maybe doing a jackrabbit hunt, like going out with 22s or something. And I'm like, that'd be kind of cool, like to bow hunt. Because a lot of times they'll just sit there. But the problem is mostly I see them at night. Like if you go at night, they're everywhere.
Gotcha.
So I'm like,
that makes it kind of difficult.
So I was like, I don't know if this is
night bow hunting.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
thanks.
you could do it if you put a light on your bow, like one of those predator spotlights, like used for bow fishing kind of deal. And so I don't know. We had talked about that last year. And I still don't know if it makes sense as a goal. I think it's just something that's kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
So I put
like,
maybe jackrabbit.
How many jackrabbits are you going to kill?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Yeah.
So I could see this being like a video that like, I don't know, we're going to split up and we each take a 22 and we have a competition to see who can kill the most jackrabbits. Like, that could be fun.
That'd be awesome.
But it's not really a goal. So I have the mandatory goal of kill a limit of doves.
Yes.
I'm not out on the opener this year, so I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I feel like
either. Good luck.
I'm not a Texan if I don't have that goal.
Yes.
So.
Throw it out there. It may happen in December or January. There's like a late season.
Yeah.
Because it breaks somewhere during general deer season.
They've made
There's
it
a couple
longer
weeks that
and
doesn't.
longer recently. So
Yeah, but they cut it. There's a couple weeks that it's cut out in November.
November.
Yeah, November.
And December. It's like end of December, like around Christmas, it picks back up.
So I don't know. So, I mean, you're going to have to hunt hard.
Yeah.
15 out of the mesquite trees in December.
Yeah. I've done weirder things.
You're gonna take out a day of bow hunting to try to shoot a limited dove.
Oh, and that's where it gets hard because, I mean, I love shooting doves, but when it gets down to like you can shoot a deer with a bow or you can shoot some doves.
Yeah.
I love deer
tough.
hunting. Yeah.
It's tough. Like you can make like 30 poppers or you can have venison for months.
Well, and what sucks about this goal is it's kill a limit of doves too. Yeah. So it's like, I could go out and shoot 13 one day. I could go out and shoot 14 one day. I could go out and shoot 12 the next day. And I've never accomplished my goal.
Your goal. Yes. True.
I got to get 15 in one day.
But your whole hopes, and as a Texan, you know this, is your hopes are that like you walk into a property that's just like littered with doves and you're like, yay, dove heaven. Like this is how I accomplished my goal. It's not like I worked so hard to get 15. It's like, no. This is holiday. Like it's that like Labor Day weekend. Like you go out there and there's enough dove where you're like, well, I hunted for 2 hours and got 15.
And you're done
There's
by
more.
lunch and eating Mexican food.
Exactly.
That's just
Yes.
how it goes.
So like that's your goal as a Texan.
Yeah.
But, not going to work out that way. Got to do it a different way this year.
So I don't know how, but I gotta. It has to be on the list.
Yep.
So big one for me this year: kill an elk with a bow. And so
That's big.
I want to kill a big bull. But last year, I never had even a chance at a shot on a bull. But there was a cow it was a cow with a calf, and so it was a little borderline, and it was at the edge of my effective range. And it was like the first day.
Yeah.
And so there were lots of things that in my head I'm like, this could be done. But I'm like, probably better not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could have killed an elk last year, I think, if I had just like pushed a little harder.
You had a chance.
Yeah. I absolutely had a chance.
Yeah.
I
Like,
never
that's the
drew
thing.
my bow, but it's like,
Yeah.
I think I could have made it happen.
Yeah.
And so still the standing goal is kill an elk with a bow. Obviously, I prefer a bull. I prefer a nice bull.
But you want to break into the elk category.
Yes.
Like, I've
And
killed an elk.
I really like elk meat. I have not had it too much. It's because I live in Texas.
Yeah. How many opportunities here?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I just really want to kill an elk with my bow.
As I'm looking around your apartment right now, wondering where it's going to hang.
Yeah, it's probably gonna have to be a Euro mount, I think. I don't know how much it would be.
You
to
can put
ship
it here, and it can go right out over the.
I'll make it
opening
work.
there. Yep.
I'll make it work somehow.
I mean, right here.
Yeah, I'll need to rearrange some things, but I'll make it work for that one for sure. I'm not going to shoot a cow just because of that. So my next one is also kill a mule deer with a bow. So
You want both? Isn't this the same hunt?
Well, so this is where. Okay, so I think I need to break down some of my goals a little bit, and this is where there's some exchange. So I also have kill a whitetail buck with a bow. And so there's some exchange and overlap. So my Montana tag is a combo tag.
Yes.
So it is a legal elk tag that can also be used on a mule deer.
Yes.
I'm going hunting in late October in South Dakota, and that is an any deer tag.
Okay.
But we're going in an area that's mostly mule deer. But if we can't get on them, I could shoot a whitetail legally with that tag. And then
so you have 2 opportunities for mule deer.
Technically, but I think both of those are. So it's weird. Everything's a trickle down.
But it's 2 different hunts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you could go out and you can get an elk, then you can go out on the other hunt and you can get a mule deer.
But if I get an elk, I cannot get a. So it's the same tag,
yes,
right?
Yes. So go out in one state, get your elk, you're done for that state. Go out in the other state, get your mule deer, you're done for that state.
Yeah. And so between like elk and mule deer, I'm going for elk.
For sure.
I'm not going for mule deer.
Yes.
Mule deer, like big mule deer, are awesome. But in terms of a meat perspective and just my dreams and wishes, killing an elk with a bow is freaking cool.
Yep.
So really the only choice will be kind of on that second hunt. If I don't, or like on that first hunt, if we're covered up in mule deer and not seeing any elk, then I'll be like, well, send it.
Let's try it. Yep.
But on the second one, it's like, if I'm most nervous about that one because there could be a great whitetail, and if I see a great whitetail on day one, do I shoot or do I hold out for a muley?
Yeah.
So that's something I'll have to think about because both of them are goals.
Yes. But no, you'll have to make the decision in the moment.
Yeah, and that's what makes it tough.
Yes. But either way, I would give up the mule deer goal for an awesome whitetail from another state.
But it's also being an out-of-state hunt. Like, I know I'll have another later chance at whitetail in Texas.
Yeah, you come back here and you're still have a couple months to shoot a
I don't know.
whitetail.
I put all those on there because I'm like, I'm really excited about bow hunting right now. I've got a rig that can do all of these. So kill an elk, kill a mule deer, and a whitetail with a bow.
Yeah.
Now I got to figure out how to make them all happen.
Yeah.
Kill a whitetail deer. I didn't specify buck or doe with a cartridge that I loaded myself.
Hey, that's a good one. I like that.
So
that's cool.
I got everything for reloading my 270 and 6.5 Creedmoor, but there are no large rifle primers to be found like anywhere. I think the closest place is Tulsa that has them. It's just like with this great ammo problem.
Well,
there's just no primers anywhere. So that's been an issue.
Would it be a better idea to say that you'll kill an animal with a bullet you loaded just in case you can't get that in the next few months? It's like, what if...
So kill a hog later?
Yeah. Like, just go out and
kill
a hog, or if you shot a coyote or something like that, like, would that fill that or not? How do you feel about that?
It's not as cool to
because,
me.
Well, I know, but just because it's limited. Like, it's like, what if, you don't get primers until end of season, and then what? And you're like, well, you didn't fulfill your goal because of some technical, like, that was out of your hands,
Yeah.
Or do you think you have enough confidence that you'll be able to load around and be ready?
Well, and to me, that's kind of I want this goal to push me into finding a way to make it happen.
Gotcha.
Because I've got all this stuff.
So you
and
think you can get it.
And so it's
you think you can get all the pieces together.
I mean, I literally have powder. I've already treated all my brass. I have bullets. I have a press. There's one piece left. And then working up a load and the knowledge and all that stuff and testing it. And I'm loading. I'm only going to be loading for, really 270 actually right now. So I think that's what makes most sense as a deer
load. Yeah.
Well, because I want to load for 6.5 Creedmoor. That's actually what forced me into reloading.
Yep. But
my 6.5 Creedmoor bullets have been on back order for about 8 weeks.
You have the 270, so you're like, all right, I got my deer round.
Yeah.
I want to knock down a deer with this.
And I didn't specify buck or doe because I didn't want that to constrain me. The goal is that I loaded the cartridge and killed a deer with it, right? Yep. It doesn't. It's going to kill a deer either way. Yep. And it's like, also my goal was kill a whitetail buck with a doe. And if I've already shot my buck on that one property, then I can kill a doe and still accomplish my goals.
Yes. It's a good goal.
So my next one, you'll like this one. Go duck hunting and kill legal ducks. So
not illegal ducks.
Not illegal ducks. But I've never gone duck hunting. And last year I picked up a new shotgun to go duck hunting. Yep. Well, new to me. And nothing fancy, but...
And some decoys, I think.
And decoys, and ammo. And I was all set. And there was one day that I was going to meet you out there, and then I had to work or something stupid.
Didn't happen. We ended up with ducks.
Yeah. And so it's like, I want to go duck hunting
Yes.
And kill something. And that's why like my goal isn't necessarily a limit like it is with doves. Mm-hmm. But it's just dive into it and taste success.
Yes.
Yep. In a way that I can prove, like just going isn't success.
And I will tell you, I am full on amateur, but it's one of those hunts
you
that
kill
like,
ducks.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like I am full on amateur, beginner, everything. The first time I actually went duck hunting with people with no experience, we killed ducks.
Yeah.
So if where we went last year is as fruitful as it was in the past, you'll be able to kill a duck.
I'll just be eating a coot.
Yes, you might be eating a diver. So, but no, I think the gadwalls fly out there pretty good, and those are delicious. I couldn't tell the difference between that and a mallard.
Yeah, well, they're
about
ones
the same
you prepared
size.
were awesome.
They're about the same size, very similar size and flavor for me. So.
And you can shoot hen gadwalls, right?
Yes.
But not mallards, or only one hen mallard.
Yeah, there's a limit on it. It's not a.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can shoot both for mallards. It's just you can't keep shooting them.
Yeah, yeah. And then so my next one was I put kill X coyotes because I feel like we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
So last year mine was 3.
Yeah.
And I killed 1.
Yeah.
Is 3 a realistic number? What? I don't know. I feel like you need to almost like
give
me
the
a number
thing.
here.
Are you going to go out to West Texas on the coyote hunt again this next year?
I don't know.
So like that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you go on that hunt, you're like going on a specific hunt for coyotes. Like chances are really high you're going with experts
in high desert where there's lots of them.
And like guys that know exactly what they're doing. So like that one might be like if you go on that hunt, it needs to be 3. If you don't go on that hunt, it needs to be 1. Something like that. I don't know.
I don't want to make it conditional
4 and 2
because I like everything else about all my goals. It's like here's a very like specific objective, and I have to figure out how to get it done.
Gotcha. Well, do you want to go on that hunt out there again?
I mean, it's fun.
Or
it's mostly like, does it conflict with something else here?
Yeah. Or do you think that it'd be a good idea to like just push for more like dedicated coyote hunts, like for us, like what we do, just like on the side. Like when can we find a weekend when
that would probably be better from like a property management. Like
Yeah.
we could probably take some off there, and
Yeah.
it's less travel. And
but it's still like is 3 feasible for us to do on that one property for you, and then I say I want to shoot 1 or 2 or whatever.
how about 2? 2 sounds pretty good.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's one more than I killed last year and one less than I said I was going to try for. So
Yes.
kill 2 coyotes.
All right.
Kill a mature tom. Still
Leaving it on there
because I
Kinda
didn't get it
cute.
done. So that's a multi-year goal now. As well as kill a turkey with a bow.
Leaving the turkey with a bow on there, huh?
I'm just because I'm stubborn. Like
Well,
honestly,
after shooting my bow today, it's like I get it.
yeah. Like
It's like
I want to, and it
yes,
would be. But ultimately, I feel like I don't want to be a turkey bow hunter.
yeah,
I want to do it to say like a shotgun is straight up a better weapon for turkey hunting.
yes,
But I want to do it just to say I did it. Damn it.
yes. No, I get it. Like I get that because it's shooting a bow is way cooler than I thought it would
Yeah.
be. Even though I thought it was going to be cool, it's even
Yeah.
cooler than that.
Yeah. So kill a turkey with a bow is still on there, and this is where it's tough because this is like my 3rd year of having that goal without getting it
Yeah.
done. This is
Yeah.
the one that's like the hardest for me apparently. And then instead of like number of hogs, because last year I feel
yeah.
like that was the
This
one
is-
goal that I was just like
Just keep going.
just
keep shooting.
rack it up, and
Yep.
like I hit that one out of the park, and I mixed my sports analogies quite thoroughly.
Yes.
So I was very, very effective at killing pigs last year.
Yes.
So instead of basically being a number, because there's so many down there, I want to kill a lot just to break even on the property so they don't tear everything up. So this was, Nate had a suggestion and I'm tweaking it a little bit. So kill a hog with a gun that I haven't killed one with before.
Ooh, that's interesting. And what would that be?
So I've
Well,
got,
I mean, you've got a few. But
yeah, but I've got some options. But
like,
so
what would be your next default option?
where
do
this
you think?
came from is Nate was like, you should try to make it a goal to kill a pig with every gun you have. I'm like, that's cool, but I think I got to break this down into chunks.
Yes.
So I need to start by killing a pig with just a new gun. So
Yes.
I've actually never killed one with a shotgun.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
So I've got several shotguns that I've never killed one with. I haven't killed one with a lever action.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that would be
That would
cool.
be
That
cool.
like
Yeah.
that 44 Marlin
Yes.
or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't think I've killed one with a muzzleloader.
Okay.
Killed deer with a muzzleloader, but not a
Yeah.
pig. Something that's crazy and out there.
Mhm.
I've got that Pieta 44 cap and ball Colt Navy black powder pistol.
That would be interesting.
That's taken to kill a hog with a handgun to like a whole nother
Yes,
level.
it is. It's like, I don't know. Obviously, it would be way easier to shoot it with your bow.
That's one that I want. Yeah, that's one that I kind of want to do for the YouTube video more than like a goal of like, wow, I feel like I've accomplished something.
Yes. That's
So-
just weird.
So yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd be able to see it when
The
there'd be just a bunch of
smoke clears.
smoke. Yeah, it'd be like all those any black powder videos you watch where they put the camera right next to the gun.
Yeah.
Boom. You're like, well, that was worthless.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
So I think I'm just gonna leave that and kill a hog with a gun I haven't killed one
Yeah.
with before.
With a
That's how
different
I said
gun.
it.
Yep.
So that will be a in the moment, depending on
Yeah.
what I have. It'll probably be a shotgun or a lever action,
Yep.
or
That'd be
I
cool.
guess I have an AR that I've never killed a pig with before.
Nah.
I've killed a pig with an AR, just not that one.
Yeah. Nah, don't do that.
Okay.
Do something different.
Okay.
Do like completely different, like round, like not, jump outs like the 4-4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see what it is at the time.
Yeah, shotgun, something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would feel very confident hog hunting with a shotgun, though.
Oh yeah. Just double up buck and just
Oh yeah,
Get
yeah,
close
that'd
enough. Yeah.
I mean, those.
or a slug
My
and
rifle-
thump them.
Yeah, put my rifled barrel on.
Yeah.
Be like 100 yards. All right.
Dude, when you get a chance, there is a big fat one that I have patterned that I saw you shooting those broadheads today. You
I
need to
know.
stick
I know.
a pig with that
I want
deal.
to so bad now.
So I put maybe for another one, kill an exotic. And so this one, I looked back last night at our draw status
Oh,
for
yeah.
our group draw. So we put in very heavily for places with a lot of exotics.
Yep, we did.
A lot of the exotic only ones
Mhm.
we didn't get drawn for. It was pending
Okay,
second draw,
gotcha.
and then
It
I
already-
checked yesterday.
already went by?
Not selected.
Oh.
But there are a lot of places where there is the draw is actually for a deer tag, but there's a lot of exotics
Yes.
there, and
Yes.
so we were kind of playing it to
Yep.
try to get there. I mean, yeah, we deer hunt too.
Opportunistic. I would, and Pliny knows me. I'm gonna shoot the first mature deer that's in front of me.
Yeah, yeah.
But you might be a little more picky if you think there's something else that might come through.
Well, and it depends. You know, I have all these other goals for knocking stuff down. So,
Yeah.
like, if
if
I
you-
have multiple deer down, then I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna sit and wait and see what happens,
Yeah.
unless a really cool buck shows
oh yeah,
up.
if you knock some things down on your northern hunt, and you're just like, nah, I just want something cool. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like my freezers are packed.
So I left this open because that fallow was really cool, and so I kind of want to do like eventually all the cool Texas stuff. So that's nilgai, axis, black buck, aoudad, and
Yeah.
fallow.
Yeah.
Those are all the major exotics. And there's Sika.
But
There's other
I would
stuff.
say nilgai and black buck you're much higher on the list than was it Aoudad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just knowing what how you've talked about,
Yeah.
especially nilgai.
That
It's like,
nilgai,
oh,
and it was
man, I gotta
mostly.
get
I
this.
mean, nilgai meat's really good, but that hunt was just so. I guess that was before I had gone elk hunting, so that was my first like just get in there in the thick stuff and spot and stalk this huge animal that can see really
Good
well.
luck.
It was just wildly different than
Yes.
like how I've whitetail hunted.
Yep.
So I think I'm just gonna leave that one kind of open, kill another exotic, but I have it as a maybe. Like,
Yeah.
is that a?
But
can I
here's
have
the
a
thing.
maybe goal?
No, well, I would say no, do it as a for sure goal. Because remember, it's an exotic. You've got from September 1st to the end of August. Think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like if nothing happens by next summer, like if nothing else, just be like, even if it's just like, hey, let's go do an Aoudad thing just to like do something different on a weekend because they're cheap in the summer,
Yeah.
and just go out and hike around in the mountains for a couple of days in far west Texas.
My only fear is that it turns into like, well, gotta accomplish this goal, so I'm gonna shoot a ram off a feeder with a.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. No, I would think that you'd
Yeah.
be more after some other experiences. You'd be more picky
I think
of
you're
like
right.
location than that, and
you're
give
right.
yourself an opportunity.
Yeah.
and not have to like break the bank
Okay.
since there's so many opportunities now in Texas.
That get crazy expensive.
Yeah, if you want to,
Yeah,
or you can keep it
No.
reasonable.
reasonable sounds good.
Yep.
And so much of that is going to be opportunity. Like if we get drawn for that nilgai hunt,
Yeah.
oh buddy.
Yes.
If we don't get drawn for anything, then I got to figure it out on my own in
Yep.
April or whatever. And then something that we've talked about a little bit. It's kind of tough for me to make it a goal, but I wanted to mention it. Is I've never killed a bobcat, and I tanned out that bobcat for that dude.
And now you're
for a
like,
while.
I want to do it.
And
Get another
mostly
one of
it's
those.
like I've killed foxes, coyotes, everything, but I've never. But like, I find it tough to be like, yeah, I'm gonna make it a goal to go out after a bobcat.
that's hard to do.
I feel like that's
If you don't live somewhere with snow,
yeah,
it's near impossible.
yeah. It's so
It's opportunistic.
yeah.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I saw one, so I shot it.
Well, and I think ultimately, like how I really feel about this is expressed by how I wrote it. Everything else is kill a mature tom, and this one just says bobcat question mark.
Exactly. Like, so what? If you see Fresh Prince, you're gonna try to stalk it, or what? Like, what's your goal here?
What am I looking for? Will Smith? Oh.
Ah! That's so funny.
Apparently, they're bringing that show back.
I heard.
Well, that was a
We'll
tangent.
see. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Well, so that's all the goals that I have.
All right.
And I feel like I'm biting off more than I can chew, and I can't do all of them. Not in that
Can't?
they're, yeah,
Can
I can. They're not
Can.
contradictory,
no.
but
You
it's
can
just
do all
like
of them.
I feel a little
The
bit
stars
overwhelmed
have
by
to
all
align.
these.
But hey, I say that, or you're like, oh yeah, all this has happened. But I will tell you, last year, my hunting season
that's
year,
true. That's true.
I feel like every star aligned in every one of those. It's like, did I hit all those goals on that laptop? No. But was my freezer packed with meat in
You
April?
bet.
Oh yeah. Like there was, I filled 3 freezers in my house. Inside freezer, venison. Fridge freezer in the garage, full of venison. And then I have a box freezer in the garage, full of venison.
That's awesome.
That was for about a month.
Yeah.
But we ate it every night for a month, and I had to eat it down so we could like throw a frozen pizza back in there.
Well, at least you got your priorities right. Eat the deer meat first, frozen pizza later.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, so that's what I've got. Is there anything that you feel like, anything I forgot, like season-wise, weapon-wise? I didn't talk about public land.
Yeah. I feel like because thinking at this time last year, we had already been out there hiking, 2 times?
Yeah.
To like
We had time to
see
get
some spots and things like that. And I know you have a heart for that.
Yeah.
And I know. Yeah, exactly.
I'm wearing my BHA
public,
shirt right now.
So, but here's the thing about that is if I lived somewhere where public land was plentiful, I would be all over it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I think I went out twice last year and I pulled into a parking lot with like 6 other pickup trucks and I waved at, 3 guys walking out to where I was going, it just like turns you off just because like the units are small comparative to the Western U.S.
Yeah.
And just things like that.
A 1,000 acre unit is a big one.
Yes. Yeah.
Most of those out there are like 300.
Yeah, hundreds. Yeah, you're
With
not
like
talking about
one trail and one
couple
designated
hundreds.
parking area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, for me, I would rather, like, for my mental state, I would rather be somewhere where nobody's there or just, my friends are there, my hunting buddies. So, like, it doesn't draw me as much after I see the crowds.
Well, I think it's going to be, there's so many people getting into it right now, which is
be
fantastic for the industry and for giving people a healthy way to get meat and for fun. But I think they're all going to slam the same bits of public land right now.
Public land properties are going to get hammered because there's not a whole lot. It's Texas.
Because I feel like I've got a really good spot kind of close to where you set up your deal.
Yeah.
A little past. It's actually where Daniel and I went out there and we got close.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the pressure that's the problem.
Exactly.
It's not the good spot. It's not the... So.
You're circling around people rather than animals.
Yeah.
Like, you've got one more species to compete with, and it's the worst one possible. It's human.
Wow, that's deep, man.
It's the hardest competition. It's like, and even worse than that, the hardest competition is a bad hunter. It's the guy that comes walking through 30 minutes after sunrise, like wandering around in circles.
Don't get me started, man.
So all I'm saying is like, it's just not my favorite thing to do. Yep. If that's my opportunity to get out there, that's what I will do because I feel like I need to do it. But this year, I feel like we've got some good setups and things like that, and we've got animals moving where we hunt consistently, and so I'm not going. Well, and you know what?
And I didn't exclude.
I don't want to push you.
I didn't specify a property on any of these. Exactly. Actually,
yeah. So you can go.
So
but it's not. I need to go.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if this weekend that's where I end up, cool. I'll take a run at it here or there,
Yeah.
But you don't feel the pressure of like I have to shoot something when I go out there.
Yeah. Cool. Well, anything else that you can think of?
Which might be a bad thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then you don't. I don't know.
You're just lackadaisical about it.
Take a day off or not get out there or whatever. Or when you go out there, you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll get something somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know.
Anything else?
I can't think of anything else.
All right.
I am hoping the quail come back, but we can't make that a goal yet. I don't think, because one of the places where we hunt has in the past has had a bunch of quail on it, and I think they're just barely starting to come back.
Yeah,
but not to the point where I'm like, let's get out there and I want to limit a quail. It's like, no,
we're not.
If we see a big covey and somebody shot one, that'd be cool, but.
And the rest of them, we'll cheer them on.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, like we don't want to push them around that property too much until they're plentiful. So, no, I think that's about it.
Okay. Well, let's get into your stuff.
All right.
So Kyle's hunting goals. I'm writing it all down.
It's limit on dove. The unspoken, unwritten, written now rule.
Yep.
And I will be out opening weekend.
Yeah.
And that's the same weekend that we destroyed them last year. So
And signs are looking good this year.
Yeah,
just
they're
based
moving.
on we've gotten a little bit of water, but not too much.
Yep.
So-
big storms in that area, like
Yeah.
hail and things like that. Hail will push birds around, knock out nesting and
Well,
things
and it's
like
getting
that.
really hot right now.
Yep.
And so I think that's just going to mean opening weekend, sit water, and you'll slam
Yeah.
them.
Well, temperature's supposed to drop next week.
Oh.
So it's supposed to be a high of like 88 or 89
Say
high.
68.
Lows were in the 60s. Sorry. Had that flipped.
Where you going?
The highs were in the upper 80s, which is really cool for this time of year in Texas.
Yeah.
And this area in Texas. I guess Texas is huge, so who knows. And then lows in the 60s, mid to low 60s. So I don't know what that's going to do for them. But
maybe get them moving.
yeah,
Maybe,
it might be moving. I don't know. And the hurricane might change travel lanes for them, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, that's
For migratory.
Yeah.
I don't know how that goes. I don't do, I'm sure a guy that studies that would be like, actually, they love going through those,
I've been watching this big one on camera for a while. So kill a limit of doves.
Yep. After that, let's go into bow season. So I just bought a bow a couple weeks ago.
At the worst time of the year.
Worst time of the year.
Scrambling.
Yep, scrambling to get all the pieces together, hoping they've got stock of certain parts and pieces, and luckily I've got a great friend here who can help me out with a lot of that stuff. So he was on the lookout for everything I needed to get set up, and gave a lot of knowledge towards that saved me a lot of time on watching YouTube videos and reading. So
Well, thank you. And so much of it is just getting the right stuff pulled together the right way.
yeah, and having somebody have eyes on you while you're like starting to get set up and start shooting and things like that, who can just like be like that. It's either like, hey, adjust this, or that looks good. Like it's both sides of it, because it's like I don't even know what I look like, and even having him, I had him like film one time when I was shooting, just like this is what I look like.
Yeah.
Of just like I can see, and like you're looking at me too, but like shoulders are scrunched up, or I'm standing awkwardly, my hips are misaligned, or things like that, where you can't do that if you don't got somebody else out there with you.
But dude, even today though, we went from you showed up with a bow with nothing on it.
Yep. And
hours later,
yeah,
you had a broadhead in the center of the bullseye at 30 yards, and a huge ass grin on your face.
Yes. Oh yeah, it was awesome. It was so cool. But that being said, my goal for archery is to hunt with my bow 3 times. And not like 3 sits.
Go on
like
3.
Because
at least 3 days of hunting, or go out?
Go out to hunt 3 times with my bow. Because for me, and Pliny knows this, most of the time, when I go out hunting, I'll go multiple days.
Yeah.
I'll camp one night almost every time I go out hunting. So I'll go out, I'll do a hunt. If I want to go super early, I might even do a morning hunt that morning, do evening hunt, do the next morning, and then I'll usually take off after that. So it's usually like 3 hunts, but in one trip. So 3 bow hunting trips, I guess I could say.
Okay. And I realize that's something a lot of people like in the rest of the country say a hunt, meaning the trip.
Yeah.
But I think down here a lot of times the hunt is the sit.
Yeah. It's like,
So,
I did a morning hunt and an evening hunt. I did 2 hunts today.
So I wanted to clarify language there.
So like 3 hunting trips where I'm hunting with my bow.
Cool.
Because thinking of that, like thinking of the length of bow season and things like that, and like there may be times during rifle season where I still sit with my bow or whatever. But that being said, like that's going to push me to be proficient with that bow, because I will not sit in a bow stand if I don't feel really comfortable with the tool that I'm shooting. And that's the same with the gun. Like, I'm not going to go out there and sit in a stand and be like, well, I hope it shoots all right. Or this one day I shot like 3 bullseyes, Yeah. And be like, yeah, but what about the other day? Well, it was a bad day. It's like, well, how do I know this isn't a bad day? And I don't want to have, on my bad day, I want to shoot well with the bow before I go out and hunt. So I'll have to practice a lot in the next month.
Yeah. Well, but I like it because you're creating a goal. I mean, it's what goals are. It's to force you to a position of where you feel confident and
proficiency.
And it's not just like, if I'm comfortable, I'll get it done. That's not a goal.
Yeah,
That's a wish list item.
Yes,
I think go out bow hunting 3 times.
Yep. So, and that'll also push me to get out there.
Yeah.
a lot of the month of October.
Now, on
doesn't
these
always happen.
said 3 bow hunts, did any
Yes.
of your goals involve shooting an arrow at something?
No.
No, just get out there.
Nope.
Okay.
Just get out there.
And that's fine.
Yep.
Don't shoot if it's not right.
Yep. Exactly. Because I don't want to.
But if it's right, please shoot.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Oh, you know me better than that.
Yeah.
If I feel confident shooting an animal, I will take the
You're
shot.
not going to be cautious.
Yes, that's not going to hold me back of being like, well, I don't know. I'm just going to sit here with my bow today and take pictures.
Honestly,
it's like, no, I'm
that's
not going to
like
do that.
when I try to make a goal about I need to run or work out. It's not the distance or the reps or like once I'm doing it, I'm in.
Yeah, you're good
The
to go.
hardest thing is like getting my butt off the couch and going out there and doing it.
Yes.
And I think for you, doing something new rather than you're a killer with a 270.
Yes,
but
yes.
Forcing yourself to do something new.
Getting a deer in bow range and having them, at the right spot at the right time and all that stuff in 3 trips, I can't control where the deer are going to be.
Yeah.
Getting a deer in rifle distance where I can just work my butt off until I see a deer within rifle distance, I can make that happen.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot bigger window.
And I'm still exactly a lot more time. I can do more hunting. All that stuff. Where bow hunting, when I first start out, I'm going to be like, I'm going to go sit in this stand where I know that I'm confident in my shot standing here, where I'm not going to be like, oh, now I'm going to get down. I'm going to go get down, downwind and start cutting across here and getting in here. And like, that's what I do with my rifle. It's like, all right, this hunt's not working out. I'm going to go stalk some deer. And it's worked out for me before.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll feel confident with a bow with that. I don't feel like I need to be to that level. I want to be to a level where I can stand in a spot where I know I'm going to be and know I'm going to hit my target.
Yeah.
I
think that's good.
Not like, oh, I got in this brush and I leaned over this tree and I had to take a shot at this deer with my bow.
Yeah. And there are all kinds of things wrong. And
yes. Like, no thanks.
No, I think that's a great way to get into it.
Yeah.
Well, what else for whitetail?
Definitely want to shoot, and I'm going to take this off the whitetail thing again. For deer.
Okay, doing that again.
I want 2 doe again. And then whitetail, another a buck. Rack buck, I guess we could call it.
Okay.
So I was listening to some podcasts with people from Alabama.
Yeah, I was say that's how
rack buck.
Southerners, it's a rack buck.
Yeah.
It's a spike.
Mississippi,
it's a spike.
Alabama.
It's a basket buck, or it's a rack buck.
Yeah, and a rack buck is and then you have a rack buck and a real good rack buck.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
It's like you put a little emphasis on different things, but rack buck at the end means like you would have shot it.
Yeah. A real good rack buck means anybody would have shot it.
Yeah.
It means the guy across the fence definitely would have shot it.
Yeah. So, yes. After that, I would like to shoot another exotic animal. And I'm not going to specify this time. Last year I said axis because I was like pretty focused on those and the meat and everything.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've had axis, whitetail, and fallow meat in the past few months, actually in the past week, I've had all 3. So the fact that I've had all 3 of those in the past week, and I like them all.
Yeah.
Like when I say I can't tell the difference, I might be able to very, very slightly tell the difference, but not really.
Minor. Yeah.
They're all
deer.
Delicious venison.
Yeah.
So I don't want to narrow it down to like one type. I'm going to be opportunistic in that too, and just be like, I'm going to find an opportunity to go shoot an exotic.
To shoot any exotic animal.
Yes.
Asian carp.
Yes. Check. Got it.
Rifle, bow, whatever you're feeling at the time.
Yes. No specification there because if it's like, February or March and I've been practicing with my bow the whole time and I'm like, dude, like I'm hooked. I want to go on a bow hunt for an exotic and I want to go do it. Yes. I go do it with a bow.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, well, I've gotten really busy with work and things like that, and I haven't shot since October, November, whatever, and it's like February, then I have an opportunity. Yeah. I'm not gonna be like, well, I said I was gonna do this with a bow.
Or you went on your 3 bow hunts and you lost all your arrows.
because they fell off in a bush a half mile back.
Okay, so shoot an exotic animal.
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so what else for deer / exotic animals / things with hooves and 4 legs?
I think that's it, because that'd get me to 4 or potentially 3.
I want you to shoot a pig.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. I was total deer
Said
and
things
exotic.
with hooves and 4 legs.
I missed
man.
that part. But yes. No, dude. I want to shoot 2 hogs, actually.
Okay.
And 2 hogs meaning, yes, 2 hogs.
Okay. Any size, anywhere.
Any size, anywhere, not out of a trap. But if somebody gives me one in a trap, I'll still kill it and eat it.
There you go.
But it won't fulfill my
goal. It's
goal.
bonus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is wishful thinking, but one not on a feeder. So, but if they're both on feeders, I will, as you know, I will still shoot the second one.
Yeah.
Not be like, let me wait for him to get 20 yards away. That doesn't count, by the way. That means I stalked one.
Yeah.
Not at a feeder.
Well, and that's like, hogs are just so motivated by food. Like, that's why they spread everywhere. Yeah. And that's why I think that's just straight up the most effective way to hunt them.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I even look at the ones that I would say weren't on a feeder.
They were still coming into that.
They were within 200 yards of a feeder, and that's probably why they were in the area versus somewhere else. So,
well, I guess I say that it will probably be the same situation.
No, that's fine.
I'll be not standing in a stand next to a feeder.
Yeah.
And I will go out and be like, well, I think they went off this way, and go track them down and try shooting.
Yeah. Cool. So. Or like, I think of a time when I did that. It was another opportunistic thing. It was up here in North Texas. It was in early spring. It was kind of drizzly, kind of spitty, and it was right at dark, and it was just a winter wheat field. Mm-hmm. And I was just sitting there like, oh, wait, there's a bunch of pigs coming out into that wheat field. And just got downwind of them, crept up on them. Yep. Got one. Pop. So that's, they're still motivated by food, but that's not a feeder. Yeah. And it's still, you're keying in on them. Yep. So I think that's a good goal. Two pigs, huh? Yep. Cool. Well, what else?
Let's jump into turkeys.
Well, hold on. Waterfowl?
Oh, yes. I would like to shoot 2 different types of ducks and excluding diving ducks.
So 2 different, meaning...
Like, 2 different species.
You want to kill 2 species this year, not 2 different species that you never killed before?
Correct.
Okay.
2 different species. So mallard and gadwall.
Okay.
Like, I don't just want to go out there and shoot like 2 gadwalls and be like, well, I'm done. Got my thing.
Like, I need to get a cinnamon teal or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
In addition
I need
to
to get something else that tastes good. So I don't want to shoot any more diver ducks. They're not that good. Goal. Don't shoot any.
Okay. Yeah.
No mud ducks. I call them mud ducks because that's what their meat tastes like. Mud. And if there's a way.
So your goal is specifically to not shoot. Like, if they're flying over, you're like, by sitting here being a pacifist, I'm accomplishing something.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't shoot that duck I don't want to eat.
Okay, I think that's good.
I'm a meat eater, and
don't kill what you don't.
So the goal for that is to be able to identify ducks better in the air too. If you think about that,
yeah, that's true.
Do better duck identification.
Okay.
So,
dude, I was thinking it'd be cool to hunt sandhill cranes.
I know. Oh, that's another one. So I've got...
But you got a lot of times you have to go pretty far out west.
Yeah, it's way out west.
It's limit 3. And
I've got a buddy who
did
it, and he had me come over a couple days later after he came back, and we cooked them up and ate them. Tastes like that steak we ate today for lunch.
That's
what it tastes like. Yeah. Like, what the... It's so weird. It's delicious. But yeah, he said he's got a guy out there that he goes out.
Is it enough to be a goal here, or just like a wish list thing?
No, just because like it's still during like all like whitetail season.
Yeah,
and so for me, like I have to allot time for that, and so I just don't think that I want to make it a goal. But opportunistically, if it like happened, it'd be awesome.
Well, when I was out on that coyote hunt last year, we just heard, and we came over the field, and there was this like we were mostly in high desert, and then there was this one guy who had this super dry, not good looking cotton field, and there were hundreds of them in there.
Yeah, which is why they're game animals. Why you can go hunt them is because they decimate people's crops. Yeah. If they weren't disturbing
3 a day,
the crops,
right?
yes, or no, it's either 3 a day or 3 per hunt. You might be able to shoot 3 in the morning and shoot 3 in the evening. Really? I can't remember.
Okay,
but I'd have to look that up. So whoever's listening, don't take my word on that one. Look it up.
Yeah.
But before we go out, we'd know that. But because I remember he went out, my buddy went out, and they missed the first hunt because something happened. I can't remember. It was weather or something like that. And then they only had like a day and a half, and so he got his limit, but I think he came back with like 6 birds or something like that.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
I can't remember if it was 3
that could go either way.
I don't know, but it's probably per day. I don't know.
Okay. So that's in the fun to do, but not necessarily a goal category. I guess anything else for waterfowl, or just skip on to turkey or coyotes, I guess, if we're trying to go in order.
Yeah.
When you hit on it.
Yeah. I want to shoot 1 coyote. I failed at that one last year. And like I said, get the calls out and try to call in coyotes.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do last year, and I didn't. We just glassed for them, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is effective when you have a giant dead cow in the middle of a field.
Yeah, when you basically are hunting over bait.
Yes.
Or if you're in a place where you're just ready to take a shot of infinitely long distance.
Yes.
That could happen anywhere at any time.
Yep.
Which is hard to do in a lot of places where...
So, kill a coyote, and that can happen whenever. Specifically, hunt for coyotes.
Okay.
So, if I'm bow hunting and a coyote comes running through, and I dump a coyote...
With a bow? That's pretty cool.
That's cool, and it's done.
I have not done that, and I'm not going to strive to do that, because for me it would be total, like, just opportunity.
Oh, that's a chance, yeah. For sure. I don't... Yeah, but I'm saying I will clear that part... But then I still need to go coyote hunting. So even if I don't shoot one when we're coyote hunting, I've killed a coyote and I've gone coyote hunting.
Now, you have these goals that are just go on this hunt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't stack them up. Just remember, you can't be like, well, my goal is to go bow hunting and go coyote hunting. And so I was sitting in that stand and I must have been coyote hunting.
Yeah. Yep. For that one, yes, I agree.
They're separate.
Can't stack those ones up.
Yeah.
Coyote hunting, coyote hunting, obviously, like, I'm not going to sit there with my bow and a Fox Pro. Just not going to do it, man. So, that is not considered a coyote hunt if I'm sitting there with my bow.
Yeah.
So.
Fair enough.
Yep.
All right, so I guess spring turkey?
Spring turkey. Shoot a gobbler. That's it. Because for me, like, I mean, I love turkey meat. And since I've learned how to break them down and cook them,
you've gotten good at that.
I will shoot multiple, even if it's like if there's abundance of turkeys, I'll shoot my gobbler and shoot a Jake or whatever. Like that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Feel like there's not a whole lot out there. I'll try to do my best to take a mature gobbler. If nothing else happens, I'm gonna get some meat.
Yeah.
But the goal is to shoot a mature gobbler.
Well, and signs are looking good this year for a lot of young birds.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that means, that'll bring in other birds.
Yeah.
Or if that just means 2 years from now it'll be great. Yeah. I don't really know what that means.
I think there's Jakes running around there that we just didn't see this past year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think that
I know there's one who probably doesn't have a buddy anymore. And so maybe he'll be out there strutting his stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So this year... There'll be some toms around. There's always toms running around. Yeah. If you've got a place with turkeys, there's always toms running around. The question is, how well are you going to hunt them?
Yeah.
You got to learn the turkeys in your area. You got to know what they'll come to or know that you've got to go to them. Or just be an amazing turkey caller and know to talk their language. And some guys can't do that yet. So, yet.
Well, and I know this year you've been experimenting with some different rifles and some different cartridges, and just looking back through the only thing here where you specified a weapon was go on 3 bow hunts.
Yeah.
Everything else, weapon wasn't specified. So, any goals there, or is that you're just gonna
kill everything
Jack
with my
O'Connor with the
270?
270?
I mean, obviously, using just shotgun.
I mean, like
shotgun for the birds.
if you go on the dedicated coyote hunt, you've got that cool 22 250. So, like that makes sense. So
Yeah,
maybe you
I
don't
like-
even need
yeah.
to. Maybe it just sorts itself out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yep. Or if you have the rifle and I have the shotgun, then I'll have a shotgun. Or if you want a shotgun, I shot the rifle. Like, I don't want to be like, no, remember my goal? I said I was going to shoot the shotgun, so you have to have a rifle in this. You know, like, I don't want to be that guy because of some goal.
Yeah.
I'd rather just go out there and be like, hey,
We got
what
it.
do you feel like today? You want to shoot your shotgun today? 'Cause
Yeah.
we're probably both, if we say that, we're both going to bring both out.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'll bring a shotgun and a rifle out. You'll bring a shotgun and a rifle out. And we'll wake up in the morning and be like, so which one do you want to shoot? All right.
Well, and I think that's kind of cool too when when there is allowed to be a little bit more whimsy in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because so much
Yeah.
of our hunting is very much okay. We're getting a good pattern on a deer. We can do this. This is our season. But and that's what's cool, especially about coyotes and hogs and all these things.
Yeah.
Where you can be like,
Let's change it up.
how would you like your adventure to go?
Yes, which sounds like so sadistic. It's like watching.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying like think of like watching a horror film or something. You know, it's like, how do you want this to end? You know? Like that's what I was thinking when he said that.
I mean, I was romanticizing the adventure a little bit more, but I mean, I guess from the hog's perspective,
Exactly.
yeah, pretty much. Oh man. So shoot a gobbler. So just one turkey this year, or one turkey goal,
One turkey
and
goal,
then everything
yes.
else is
Yeah,
icing
it's
on
bonus,
top.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, that's what you did last year, and I had all these turkey goals and didn't get them done. You had
I was
one
gonna
turkey
say.
goal and got more than that done.
Yes,
So
but the 2 years previous to that, I didn't shoot any turkeys. The 2 years before that, I didn't shoot any turkeys. So when I see that, it's like it's not a trend until you've done it multiple times in a row, you know. And I haven't done that. I've never shot a gobbler 2 years in a row. Never shot a mature tom 2 years in a row.
okay.
So like the fact that I'm just gonna leave it at that as a goal, like I still feel really comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's certain things where I'll just be like, well, I've done this 6 years in a row and it's my goal again. You're like, that's lame.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like, come on, step it up.
Like
Whereas-
shoot a limit of doves.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. There's a lot of times where I go out
shoot
and I
my
don't-
limit 4 times.
Yeah,
No.
there's a lot of times I go out and I do not get a limit. I
Yeah.
do not get a limit every year.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
How many years in a row have you shot your limited dove?
3.
Not you've hit it 3 years in a row right now. So this would
Dang.
be your 4th.
Think, but it's definitely not 3 hunts in a row. It's like I got it done once in a season,
in a season. Yeah,
and managed to do that.
yeah.
I think 3.
You had
years in
a
row.
day 3 years in a row
Yeah.
where you shot 15.
It was a good day.
Yeah. So all right, awesome.
Shoot a gobbler. Anything else? Any of this off-season stuff? You want to add some skunk or raccoon limits to this thing?
Well, I mean that's
While we're
just
at
that's just feeder management for raccoons.
Yep,
So
yep.
and I did shoot.
It's taking out the trash.
I shot a raccoon this year with 270. That was about a month ago.
Oh yeah, you said I was going to talk about
I
this.
think
and you never
I think I
did.
doubled up on that one actually.
Yeah.
It was a very large raccoon that had some youngins, and she came within 5 yards of me with a 270. That was the end of that.
And there will be
And-
fewer corn thieves at
Yes.
the feeder.
Yes. So, and she was showing up on my feeder at least twice a day
Yeah. it was
with all of her 7 babies.
becoming a raccoon feeder at that
Yes.
point.
Yep. So, but yeah, I think that's about it.
Man, well, that's so limited doves, archery, go out bow hunting 3 times, deer, 2 doe. Yeah, deer. We didn't specify species
Yeah.
there.
2
Whitetail,
doe.
shoot a rack buck,
Buck.
shoot an exotic animal,
Exotic.
shoot 2 hogs, preferably 1 not on a feeder, shoot 2 different species of ducks. Don't kill any diver ducks. Kill a coyote, preferably with a call on a coyote hunt, and then shoot a gobbler.
Yeah. Well, actually, the coyote thing was 2 different goals.
Oh, okay. So
I want to kill a
coyote,
coyote,
boom,
and I
that's
want to
one.
go coyote hunting with a coyote call.
Okay. Kill a coyote.
Yep.
Any way possible. Acme
Yes.
dynamite,
Yes,
falling
exactly.
anvils.
That's why I said
I think that works the other way around.
when I shoot a coyote, if one ran in front of me and stopped in front of me with a bow and I shot it, that would end the coyote thing, but I still have to go on a coyote hunt with a call after that.
I was combining them. Got it.
No. 2 different goals.
Got it. Well, man, you got a lot of good goals on there. I've got a lot. I think it's going to be a challenging season, and ultimately, hopefully, this is stuff that's not stressful to us, but drives success and gives us ambition and a lot of tasty meat in the freezer.
Yes.
So it should be cool. So just something to think about for everybody listening. Write down your hunting goals. If you've never done it before, this is just turning, for so many people, hunting is a wish list. Like we think, oh, it'd be cool if whatever.
Get out there and do it, man.
And a lot of these are goals where we don't have necessarily, some of these I have hunts booked specifically for, but a lot of times are pretty open. And some of them, Kyle is successful if he doesn't shoot any diver ducks this year. So write them however you want.
If I don't even go duck hunting, I can accomplish that one goal.
You filthy cheater. You're going to hit one in your truck and lose. But all that to say, write out your hunting goals, find ways to keep yourself excited, and just stay passionate about that stuff. So hope you enjoyed it. It was fun. I had fun.
Oh, yeah.
Until next time, stay safe, be free, and never stop seeking adventure.